Welcome to Your Unapologetic Life, the podcast. I'm your host, Morgan Barkis, women's empowerment coach, speaker, and author. And this show is for the woman who's done crying herself to sleep. You're picking yourself up after the breakup or the divorce, and you're ready to figure out what this next chapter is going to look like. Not the one someone else wants for you, the one that's fully yours. Each episode is here to remind you you're not too late, you're not too much, and you're not alone. This is your comeback era, and I've got you. I did not feel like going to the event that I met you at. It was blustery and chilly in Chicago. I didn't dress appropriately. I'm walking up and down the sidewalk trying to find the location. Thought I was going to just go get something to eat instead, and then the restaurant I went to was closed, and I was like, okay, it's fate. I'm going to this event no matter what. And so finally I walked in the door, and I'm like, I'm looking for an event on floor 12. And he's like, the elevators are over there. Okay. Anyway, so I got to hear you speak because you were on a panel. You were wearing a fantastic suit, by the way. Love the suit.
Thank you.
My white suit is real cute.
Thank you.
And I was just very impressed with you. And I asked you to be on the podcast, particularly because you had mentioned during the panel that you went through a divorce. And I thought, she's so young and she already went through a divorce. And so I wanted to hear your story and share your story. And before we jump into that, I would love for you to, in your own words, if someone asked you, who are you and what do you do? What would you say?
Of course. So thank you so much. It was so lovely to meet you that day as well. When you approached me, I was like, hi. And you were like, oh, I have this podcast show. We talk about our relationships. I was like, I would love to be in it. I was like, there was no questions asked. I was like, yes.
Thank you. I didn't want to interrupt. You were like chatting, and I thought, okay, when in this conversation can I go in without being super awkward and rude? And I'm really glad. I really did want to talk to you before you left. So I erred on the side of being rude so I could try to talk to you.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad we made that connection. But yeah, so my name is Maira. I'm a content creator in Chicago. I'm a Latina. I love building a community and I love creating things, and whether that is creating for your business, social media, or visibility, or just getting you to be confident and being bold and helping women, just like supporting women in general. That's what I love to do.
Laura, are you born and raised Chicago?
Yes. I'm a Chicago, and I was born in Chicago, raised in Chicago. I did move to Indiana during early years of like high school.
Okay.
But only lasted 4 years in Indiana, and I was like, I need to go back to Chicago. My calling is there.
What part of Indiana were you in? Just out of curiosity.
Of course. So it's not even that far. It's actually right at the border, you could say.
Okay.
So it's Whiting, Indiana. It's a very small town, but it has a specialness of it. Most people would relate to it as like, if you know Horseshoe Casino. If you know Horseshoe Casino, we're right there every year. They host this amazing, biggest pierogi fest. It's amazing, honestly. But it is a small community. And I remember even like my high school class was like under like 300 people. So being in a small community made me want to be in a place where I want more.
Mm-hmm. You know what's crazy is I hear Gary, Indiana is like up and coming, and I didn't realize that certain parts of the lake you can see Chicago.
Yes.
I was like, I had no idea that was like somewhere where folks are buying homes and stuff because you're right on the lake. They're sort of saying that it's almost Chicago. You just hop on a train and come to Chicago. Chicago is a great city.
Yes.
I'm very impressed, honestly, with Chicago. And one of the to me impressive parts are the events like the event that you and I met at. And like I said, when you were on that panel and you had said you'd went through a divorce, I thought, I want to share this woman's story. Because here on this podcast, it's about living out loud, living unapologetically, and women inspiring women. Like, I want to know what you do. I want to know why you do it. And just, I think that I grew up in a different era than you in that we didn't have the internet, and so we had a landline, one line, three TV channels. I'm from an even smaller town than what you're talking about. I only had
Oh my gosh, I can't believe that.
200 odd people in my graduating class, and
Wow.
so I
Mhm.
didn't know what all was available in the world until I moved out into the world, and then you get the internet and things like that. How did you get your start in the content creation, and like how did you know that was something you wanted to do, this creative outlet that has become a business now? I mean, what was the start like?
So I think I've always been this person. I was like 5 years old, entertaining my family with like Selena songs and singing back and forth. And luckily, my family always saw that in me, that they would actually support it. Instead of saying, like, okay, no, you're doing too much, they were like, let Myra sing, let Myra do her thing because she's going to entertain us. And it would be
Yeah,
like literally every family gathering, every birthday, they would just have a moment where I would entertain the guests.
I love that
and
for you.
um and I was like, I love doing this. I love taking pictures. My mom was a model actually. So when she came to America, she was an immigrant, and she was working in Pilsen. That's the first place my family came from, Pilsen in Chicago, and she was a boutique model. And in her day, there wasn't no mannequins in front of the storefront. It was her holding like the purses for like
No,
8 hours a day. Yes.
that's
Yes.
bananas. Okay.
Yeah, so my mom was a model, and when people tell me, like, well, you're so photogenic, how do you know how to take pictures? Like, I really don't. I never took modeling class, but I think it's in my genes. It's in my genes because my mom used to model, and, I just like awkwardly look good in pictures.
And you also did something with it though. It's not like you're just like, I just love taking pictures and you post them. You've
Yes.
created, dare I say, an empire. So talk to me about
Thank
how that
you.
started. Like,
Yes.
where did you start posting, and how did you realize that you could turn it into a business?
Of course. So I always had this desire to create things, and I was like, okay, I love being on the camera. So I would film myself at home just for my own self, I or like my family members or closest friends. I didn't share it publicly. And especially because I was in this relationship with this person that was like, I don't want other people to see you. So I was like, okay, I'll have my creative situation, but I won't post it for the world to see.
Mm-hmm.
And it took a while to like realize that maybe I needed to be seen by the world, and maybe it was more than that. Maybe I wasn't just supposed to be this person in this box. Maybe I was supposed to be someone that can share this gift and not only share but uplift other women. So being 34 years old and having clients that tell me you inspire me has changed everything in my life. Like honestly, like I have women who are like super young, 18 years old, 14 years old, trying to find their path, and they tell me like you inspire me so much to be who I'm supposed to be one day. And I want to do that. And the next day seeing them post things, I'm like, "Oh my God, having that feeling is like wow. It's crazy." Or just having women who have, they're not in their early ages, they're like mature women. And then they're like, you know what? I've never seen this side of me, but you brought it out of me. You brought this confidence out of me. You inspire me to love myself, to be this other person. And I'm just like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Because even in my culture, like we believe our elders have so much respect. But when they're telling me, like, you are doing something to me, like, you're my teacher, I'm like, oh, it's so overwhelming, this beautiful feeling that I have, you know?
It is inspiring. A lot of women, when I'm in rooms and I hear some of the things that they struggle with, putting themselves out there comes up quite a bit. Like, well, I don't know. And I think, do you
Yes,
think it's because they worry about what other people think, or what is it that people are worried about? Do you have an idea or theories on that, or what you hear from other women?
absolutely. I think this world in general was not created for women. It was created for men. And so in this world that is not for us, like we have to find our voice. We have to find who we are, our power, our passion and our power, and stand right there. And I think that's hard for women to do in this age. It's hard to say like I am powerful because I can stand here next to you and build an empire. I can stand next to you and be my feminine self. You know, it's hard, but I think that that's where it all is. Like it's all in and just finding who you truly are.
Mm-hmm. I would say too, and I think women do it too much. I wish they didn't. They're judgy of each other, and I think that might be one of the reasons they hold back too, is they worry about what other women will think. Because I mean, let's be real, you walk into a room, and I had to consciously remind myself that you're not assessing what anyone looks like compared to you. She's her, you're you, that's it. Find something to compliment. So I always try to find someone and say, girl,
Yes.
that outfit looks so good on you, or your hair
Yes.
is amazing, like whatever it is, so that she feels safe. Like, I'm not judging, I'm just here as me, you be you. And I think women are so used to,
Mhm.
unfortunately, picking each other apart, that might be another reason they hold back in terms of putting themselves out there, because they're afraid of what other people will
Yes.
say.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, like if you put it to statistics wise,
Hmm.
women by nature want to be with a mate, right? And so if you see how many women are compared to men, there's less men to women. So that just gives people or women in general a situation where they're like, I want to be competitive to get this man.
Yeah.
And how are you going to get this man? It's like maybe I have to be the best at looking this way or the best at doing this or whatever the case
Hmm.
is. So I feel like that's where the competition builds. But when I see women who are just building, who are like building a community, who are pouring into each other, who are saying like, okay, you are amazing and you are capable of doing this and more. It's like, it's a whole different thing. It shifts perspective. It builds empires. It builds a community. It builds like a nature where people feel safe, women feel seen, and that's where I want to be.
I love that. And it sounds like you started very early. You were confident in yourself, you were living out loud, and it sounds like your relationship didn't encourage that or support that part of you. Take me back to when you fell in love and why you thought this was your person at the time. And like,
Yes,
what did that feel like? And what was that part of your life, that chapter?
of course. I fell in love very young. I was 25 years old, and I think at that time I was very influenced into believing what society thinks women should do. Like whether you need to marry somebody at this age and you need to have kids at this age and you need to have a house at this age. So that was a dream that I was chasing because that's what I kept seeing. My friends that were the same age, they were getting married. My friends who were the same age, they were buying houses. They were with their spouse, they were having kids, and I was like, okay, I think I should do this. And so I ended up being married to someone who I fell in love with, and I was like, maybe this person doesn't love me for who I am completely because I wanted to show a different part of myself, but I loved him and I was like, we can make it work.
So tell me, did you because you were doing videos and some content at that
Mhm.
point, did you just stop? Or like what did that look like? Like you're like, well, I'm married now, so I guess that part's over. I mean, what did that look like to just stop?
Yes, it literally was like I was single and I was already in the media. Like I wanted to create my own boutique. I was having my own business with just fashion itself, and I had my own like skincare YouTube channel. I had this opportunity where they were like, "We want you to be our next beauty guru because I think that you have the audience for it."
Wow.
And the other opportunity was like I was in this relationship where he proposed to me, and I was like, okay, next step is marriage. So he
Mm.
was like, if we're going to get married, you have to leave this behind. You have to not be in the public eye because I don't want you to be seen by other people. I want to be just, you're my wife. And so I had to trade one dream for another. I traded priorities at that time. I was like, okay, maybe my priority is not to build my own dream. Maybe my priority is to be a housewife and to build his dream up, you know?
Yeah, and create a dream together, maybe, because it sounds
Yes,
lovely.
create a dream
Yeah.
together. Yes. But, it just took a little time to realize that I was meant to do something else.
Mm-hmm.
And when I realized that, I was like, I can't do this anymore.
How
I was
long?
like,
How are we
I'm,
talking? Like
mhm.
you're living your best wifey life? When
Yes.
did the things start coming? Because you obviously have a fire for what you're doing. When did you start to feel like, maybe I need to go back to that and make a different choice with my life?
It was just to the point where I had enough. I think like every woman knows when enough is enough for them.
Hmm.
Maybe you have different boundaries. Maybe you have a different perspective of what love is supposed to be or what you value yourself. But I knew for myself that I had had enough. I was like, okay, at this point, I feel drained, not only emotionally, but creatively.
Hmm.
I felt to the point where I just couldn't see a future, just to have a person to be like, I don't have a vision, that was never me. Because since I was 5 years old, I always had a vision. And I was like, this isn't for me, like I have to do something about it. I have to change this.
Were there people in your life going, are you crazy? You have a great husband and a great life. And were there other people going, yes, girl, follow your dream no matter what?
Yes, of course. I mean, for my culture, we're very like, once you get married, you have to work it out. You know, in Spanish, we say like tienes que aguantar, which means like you have to like stay there. You have to feel that. You have to just like deal with it.
You made your
And I
choice
was
and
like,
stay in your choice, make it work?
yes. And I was like, no, I don't. I was like, because at that time where I married my spouse, I was like, I went to college. I had a degree. My ancestors didn't have this. My family didn't have this. My mom didn't have this. I really don't have to stay here.
Mm-hmm.
Even though people around me were telling me, like, you just have to because that's what we do when you get married. The women just supposed to like work it out. And I'm just like, no, I don't. I don't have to do this. And then I have my group of friends, of course, my closest friends saying like you are meant to do something else, why are you not doing it?
Mm-hmm.
And I would just hold back and say, well, I'm married, I respect my spouse, and I shouldn't be doing things that are not like together things, are not things that we decide on. And they're like, no, you're supposed to do something more than this. So I had to just like take it all in and at one point decide that who I really want to be. I picture myself saying like, who is Myra really? Like, what does Myra really want in this life? And who does Myra want to be? Does Myra see herself being in this relationship for like 5 years, 10 years, feeling unfulfilled, feeling like she can't be herself, feeling like she can't share her gift to the world? Or does Myra see herself going after everything that she is like capable of, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, like, made the decision. It was clear as day. And I was like, I need to do what's best for me.
How did that conversation go? I would have been so nervous. Like, what do you do? Like, all of a sudden you're doing dishes and you're like, "Hey, so I was thinking." I mean, like, how do you bring that conversation up?
I mean, it's not an easy conversation to have, but I think those are conversations that are the most necessary to have. It might not be easy, but it's necessary because it means a lot to you, to who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this means a lot to me. And I need to have this conversation. As uncomfortable it is, I need to make sure that I'm like letting it out.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to tell him, I was like, you know what? I really love you for who you are. But if you cannot support me who I want to be, or who I am, then I need to say, like, this is where it ends. Because I loved him. You know, I supported him. I helped him build his own dreams.
Mm-hmm.
But if he couldn't do that to me, then I was like, this isn't for me. You know, like, I need to, if I can do this for you because I love you, then I need to love myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to do this for me.
How did that conversation go?
Yeah, so I mean, he said that he didn't want to be in this um stage of my life. He's like, I do love you, but I love you as my wife,
Mm.
and I don't want to love you as a person you're going to become. That's not the person that I want to love.
How did that feel to hear that?
I mean, it was very difficult. Very difficult because, of course, I wanted him to say yes. I want to support you because I love you too, and I I don't want this to end. Like, I will do anything to support you. And I had to realize that that wasn't love. You know, it was like, what is love really? You know, like, is it love a feeling or is it an action? Like, when you fell in love with me, was it just because you felt that you fell in love with me? Or was it because it was an action? Like, I want to understand her. I want to know what she wants. I want to pursue what she wants. I want to build her. That's an action.
Mm-hmm.
That's love in an action. Rather than just like, oh, I feel like I love her and this is her.
Mm-hmm.
But
As
then
long
you're
as
not
she stays like
considering
this.
everything I am.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So, you know, we had to part ways, but luckily we did it in such a graceful way that we were mature enough that we didn't want to hurt each other.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I respect you have a different point of life or a different perspective, maybe different goals, and I don't fit in this anymore. And that's okay. So, like, you go your way, I go my way. So, at least I can say that was done nicely for me. It wasn't more torture because I have heard like other people have very hard situations. But my situation wasn't hard. You know, like, I think we were just like respectful in that way. We knew each other and we knew that we had to respect each other's needs.
Yeah. And right after, who was your support system? Are we talking therapist, coach, mom, friends? I mean, who
Yes, of
who helped you
course.
get through that initial breakup and the feelings that you were feeling?
I mean, I did different searching. I think there's so much in this time and age that you can search for. You can have whatever healing means to you. You know,
What'd you
like, if
do?
it
Just throw
means
Google? Like,
well, I mean, like, if healing means like you need a psychologist, then look for a psychologist. If healing means like you need to go on a trip, then that's your healing.
yeah.
You know, like, even as a woman, like, if healing means like you need to do this or that, like, I honor that because you need to do that. to discover who you're truly supposed to be as your woman, feminine self,
Yeah.
your power. So for me at that time, I was like, okay, maybe I should go see a psychologist. And I did, and I thank her so much because she gave me the validation that I needed. I was the time where I was doubting myself. I was like, did I make the right decision? Do I believe in myself that I can live? Because I think everyone in this world is like, I need to get married, and now if I'm a person I'm supposed to live my rest of my life with,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna be okay because if I'm sick or this happens, I'm married already. I have a husband, right? But I was like, do I believe that I can live without this person? Do I believe that I can go on with this? Like, knowing the decision I just made, that I'm like, I just chose to be single again.
Mm-hmm.
I just not only chose to be single, but I chose to be divorced. So there's like, what are people gonna think of me, right? And she was so beautiful. She's like, doesn't matter, Myra. That doesn't matter. She's like, whatever people think about you, it does not matter as long as you are doing what you want. So she always gave me that validation. She always gave me that mentoring to like keep going, keep going. And honestly, that helped me so much because whenever I had doubt, having someone else pour into me and just support me and empower me and, give me the validation, it was a lot.
That is exactly what I do with the coaching stuff, the mentorship, the support, the inspiration, the
Yes.
reminders that you're deserving of love, you're deserving of your choices. You were single before, you can do it again. Like I watched a short video clip on Instagram recently where someone said sometimes it feels like you're starting over, or you lost everything, or people are going to think about you a certain kind of way. No, no, you get to take all those experiences
Mhm.
and you're not starting over. You're starting at a different point, even smarter and more equipped than you were before. I mean, I feel like everything in life, I have a YouTube video. Most of them, they have like 27 views, 300 views, if that. I have one video that it's called it's never a waste of time, because I was
Mm.
chatting with a girlfriend who was kind of lamenting the fact that she was involved with this guy for as long as she was, and she's like, why did I waste so much time? And I said, no, like, that was a life experience that you needed to have, and you stayed as long as you needed to learn that
Yes.
lesson or have that experience. That video has like 34,000 views because it's,
Oh my
for whatever
God.
reason, that resonates with people, because I think a lot of people, like you're saying, they look at it and go,
Mhm.
God, what are people going to think? I'm divorced. Like, it's this horrible word, or I failed, or now I have to start
Yes.
over, or I'm single. Like it's a curse. And it really, there's just so many different chapters in our life. And I
Mhm.
feel like we just get wiser and smarter. So my question is, if you had to do it again, would you do it, and why? What did you learn from it that moved you into your next chapter?
I mean, as terrible it was, I would do it again because I would not be the woman that I am now without having through those experiences. I would not have found self love. I would not have found the power in myself, like what I really want and like who I really am. Like I think there's so much power of like just knowing who you are as a feminine person in a relationship, and it's experiences that you learn from. So I would definitely say, as horrible it is to go through the heartbreak, sometimes it's necessary. Maybe you're in a place where you didn't know that you're capable of being someone else or loving yourself more.
And reframing it that it's not a failure, it's just a life
Mhm.
experience that you had, and it taught you things, and it helped you find, rediscover, or reignite this fire, because it sounds like you were always on fire. But probably as soon as you came out, little Myra, you were probably on fire, and then you started being able to sing and dance and do all the
Mhm.
things. And
Yes.
Now, in terms of, I mean, the reason you left the relationship is because you knew there was something inside you that you wanted to express, and this creativity and this light that you have that you wanted to share. That was a hard line for you, and obviously it wasn't a match, and you two went your separate ways. How soon
Yes.
after that were you able to like take off and start doing what you wanted to do? Like, what did that look like, that trajectory of, wow, okay, I'm single again, saw the therapist, talked it out, and when did you, I mean, did you start creating right away? Like, what did that look like for you?
Yeah, so I mean, like, I was always creating for my personal self because I enjoyed it. But once I'm like, okay, I'm myself, I'm single, I can do what I want. My first thing was like, I'm making my Instagram public. And I'm sharing everything I'm doing, but with everybody because no one is going to restrict me. No one's going to put me down. No one's going to have a different voice that is not me. It's like, this is who I need to be, and I'm going to show the world who I am.
You know what's crazy,
So,
Pants, is I did the same thing.
oh my God.
My Instagram was on private too, and I was like, "Well, I'm going public."
Yes, yes. And I feel that, even in my workshops when I talk to women, I say like sometimes you may be in a relationship that you can't find your own voice. And it's so crazy when you do because you notice it completely different. You notice your own mistakes. You notice who you really are and who you want to be. And so having that platform when I was like, okay, now I can do what I want. And I was just like doing this and doing that, and people were loving and gravitating to it. I
Yeah.
knew that I had something that people would love to do. And maybe for those women who were still scared to be in that situation, I was like, okay, I'm going to help you. And even like my mom, she told me one day after my divorce happened, she's like, I know you're very sad. I know you're going through a horrible time. She's like, but whatever like you're meant to do, just know that it's going to happen and you're going to reach so many women. Like I just know it. She's like, I just know that whatever you're meant to do, you are going to reach this women. You have this gift
Hmm.
that you're going to connect with them, you're going to reach them. So I just like started to believe it, and I was like, okay. I first started content creation. I was like, who is going to want a 30-year-old woman who's been divorced, who doesn't look like the perfect body or picture that social media puts out there, right? Like I've always been a curvy woman too. It's like, who's gonna say, I want to follow her? I want to be influenced by this woman. And, sure enough, when I first started, I kept reaching out to people, and people were like, you're not the image that we're looking for, or you're just not it because you're in your 30s already. We want someone who's young. And I was like, you know what? I one day sat down, and I was like, do I want to give up because all these people are saying I am not the image that they're seeking? Or do I want to still follow my passion? Because even after I left the divorce and someone that I loved, I wanted to follow this dream. I was like, you know what? No matter all these no's that people are telling me, these are going to convert into yeses. These are going to be the reasons why people say, yes, yes, I want to know her. I want to follow her. I want to like grow with her. And it happened that way. Like, I'm so happy and grateful that I found the people that can relate to, the people that are in their 30s. They're people who have been through life and they're like, I was unhappy too. I've been through a breakup. I rediscovered myself. I'm a person who found her passion again. And like, I am so happy that I found these people found me and I found my people because that's where I created my community.
And that community is tight. I feel the same way with my coaching
Yes.
business. It's not for everyone. My personality, it's not for everyone. Not
Mm-hmm.
everybody likes leopard print paisley together. They're like, it's too much. Cool.
Yes.
And yes, you're right. When you find your community that feels comfortable and seen, it doesn't need to be everybody. It's this very particular group, and it's so inspiring. Um, what was it like to have your mom? I mean, like you said, your culture um,
Hmm.
is has a certain expectation about women and marriage and whatever. And what was it like to have
Yes.
your moms after the divorce say, "You are everything. Go chase everything. You are going to be an inspiration to other women." What did that feel like?
And that felt like love. You
Mm,
know, like when people say like what is love? Like I felt loved. I felt seen.
yeah.
I felt that she knew me, she understood me, and that's everything that I needed at that moment. I was like, this is a mess, but you see me, you understand me, and I am going to do that. You know, like I
Yeah.
am going to be who I'm supposed to be, and I'm so happy that I went for that.
I'm happy for you. And I would love for you to, I feel like you've had a strong conviction since you were young, and you let it go for a little while you were married, and then you thought, no, I can't give this up. I love this too much. And actually, my business coach said the same thing to me. She goes, if you hung this all up and said, you know what, I'm just gonna give up this dream, because certain things take a while to build and you need momentum and whatever. And I said, no, I could never give it up. I've been wanting to coach women since I left graduate school way back when in 2013. Like I know I'm meant to serve and do what I'm doing. And it sounds like you have had that same conviction even before me. It's been a fire inside you since you were little. Um, what would you say to the woman who doesn't feel as much, like she doesn't know what her fire is and she doesn't know what she's going to go after, but she feels like she wants something more, especially now that she's single again? I say that all the time. Single again, now what? Like, it's on my website. So when you said that, I was like, ding, ding, ding. Like, what would you say to inspire these women and make them, like, even if it's hard, even if it's messy, go follow that fire inside of you. Go figure that out and chase it.
I would just say to find your power. You know, like if your power is being this person, you know, maybe your power is not being this entrepreneur. Maybe your power is being a mom or being like an amazing aunt, because I'm an aunt too. I was like, or being, you know, like an amazing sister or being an amazing daughter, like whatever your power is, whatever your passion is, like just find your power. Once you find it, everything's going to make sense.
I wish I could just, I want to hug you right now. The name of my company is actually called the Confidence Stage, because I want women
Yes.
to take the stage, whatever that is. Like you said, whether it's motherhood or it's in the boardroom
Mhm.
or it's in the bedroom, like your stage,
Yes.
take it and take it confidently. Know what gives you power, and if it makes you feel powerful.
Hmm.
Yes, 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 yes. Now,
Yes.
what I would love is I'm out here coaching women, helping them rebuild after the breakup. You are the content queen. So can you please share what you're up to, what your company is doing, the name of it, of course, because it's fantastic, and where people can like, follow, and find you?
Thank you. Yes. So my business is called the Content House. My name is Oh My Myra on my socials, and you can find me on Instagram. That's my major platform. I'm also on TikTok and YouTube, but Instagram is where you can find me the most. I do post regularly, and my posts are directed for women. You know, you build yourself, and I do posts that people are think it's too bold, but that's okay to me because I can post it for us, you know?
Who says
If
it's too bold? Like, what do you mean? Give me an
like
example.
like if I mean, like some people, I guess I would say when you're in social media, you don't want to post something because you're afraid that other people would see it
Mhm.
and judge you. And I mean, I have some posts out there that men reply to it very horribly. Like I get some horrible remarks, you know,
Okay.
but it doesn't make me feel any way. I'm unbothered because I love myself. I know who I am. I love myself who I am. That when they say that, I'm just like, oh, okay, and move on. But at least I'm saying it out there for women who may not feel strong enough yet to say it out loud. And I'm just like, I am going to be that representation. I am going to be that bold voice that's like, I'm putting it out there, you know? So my platform is all about building, empowering women, supporting women, and also supporting a community, like let's build together. If you have a dream, if you have goals, like let's stop normalizing what people believe that you're capable of. One of the most recent things that I've been dealing with was like imposter syndrome because I think that when you're a business owner, sometimes you feel like, oh, I'm not good enough to go to this meeting or go to this room. And then you realize the whole time you were meant to be there because you were working your way to there and that's how you got there, but you never gave yourself the power to be there.
Hmm.
So I do post everything about empowerment for sure.
As you were mentioning the comments thing, years ago, I used to manage a fitness studio. And
Mm-hmm.
don't get me wrong, this woman came in. It was really busy. I didn't have my best moment, and I was trying to handle other things. She left and left a terrible review. And you can't take those off a Yelp, right? And I
Yes.
thought, okay, that wasn't great. And I admitted that didn't have a great moment, and I commented back and apologized and whatever, whatever. And then I thought, how do even in our own life, like let's say someone says something hurtful to us,
Mm-hmm.
it sticks. Unfortunately, this is our biological brain. We pick up negative things and scary things because we're protecting ourselves and trying to survive, right? It's
Yes.
literally just biology that we cling on to negatives more so than we cling on to positives. So drowned out the negatives with as many positives as possible. Like even in a relationship, I think like experts will say, like, if you have one negative moment, it takes like 5 or 7 positives to kind of like neutralize.
Mm-hmm.
So as you were talking, I was thinking, you know what, ladies, anyone that is listening right now, I want you to go find Myra, and I want you to comment as many positives. Yes, girl, there's so many things.
Yes.
Drown out any negative. Even though it's like I hear you, I know, I feel the same way. I feel really solid in who I am too. And when someone says
Mm-hmm.
something that's hurtful, you feel it in your body, and it sucks. And so let's get as many women on Myra's social media saying positive things.
Yes.
Let's drown out the negative. Okay. So anyway, back to your company name is the Content House, correct?
Yes. Yes.
You do workshops for other people that aren't as well versed in social media as you are, in marketing and content creation, etc. Anyway,
Yes.
so remind us again, and I'll put it in the show notes as well. Just some of the places that we are meant to follow you, where you want to be followed.
Absolutely. My Instagram, if you have Instagram, it's
Okay.
Oh My Myra with 2 A's at the end. The Content House Shy. So if you're in Chicago, this is going to become the biggest creators platform there is. So I just know that. So
Yes.
I would love to take anyone in who, if you are just thinking of content, or you're thinking I need a mentor, I need to know what this is. I host workshops from Chicago to Northwest Indiana, serving the community and teaching you how to show up boldly and what to do online. So I definitely help you find your purpose, your why, and, help you have people see you authentically online.
I can totally understand and see why people say to you that you are an inspiration. You are a light in this life. Girl,
Thank you.
I admire you so much.
Thank you. This was amazing. I love your energy and thank you so much for pouring everything into me as well.
Thanks for listening to Your Unapologetic Life. If this podcast felt like a truth bomb, share it with another woman you love. Make sure you're following the show and please rate and review. It really helps. Want weekly motivation in your inbox? Tap the link in the show notes to join my email list and instantly unlock your post-breakup pump-up video. And if you're thinking, I want Morgan to be my coach, click the Discovery Call link in the show notes and let's talk about how perfect my coaching program could be for you right now.